Now, let's start with presidents of the United States. Members of the Council on Foreign Relations who have been presidents of the United States are Herbert Hoover, Dwight Eisenhower, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, James Carter, George Bush Sr., and William Clinton. Now, John F. Kennedy once said that he was a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. He thought he was, but nowhere in the membership records have I been able to find any record. I guess he was wrong. He was a wannabe, but he never quite made it. So we don't know about him. Now, former presidential candidate John Kerry is a member of the CFR. Of course, Vice President Richard Cheney is a member of the CFR. And should John McCain be elected president, he is a member of the CFR. You've ever wondered why such a dolt as that can get so much support? I cleaned up my vocabulary too, I want you to know. All right, secretaries of state. This is perhaps even more important than the president, because the president surrounds himself with advisors and cabinet members, and he does pretty much what he's told to do, even though he likes to puff out his chest and make it sound like he's the leader and the king. But secretaries of state are very, very important, and just about all of them have been CFR members. Here's a list. Dean Rusk, Robert Lansing, Frank Kellogg, Henry Stimson, Cordell Hull, E.R. Stettinius, George Marshall, Dean Acheson, John Foster Dulles, Christian Herter, William Rogers, Henry Kissinger, Cyrus Vance, Edmund Muskie, Alexander Haig, George Shultz, James Baker, Lawrence Egelberger, Warren Christopher, Madeleine Albright, Colin Powell, and of course, Condoleezza Rice. Secretaries of Defense includes the following members of the Council on Foreign Relations: James Forrestal, George Marshall, Charles Wilson, Neil McElroy, Robert McNamara, Melvin Laird, Elliot Richardson, James Schlesinger, Harold Brown, Caspar Weinberger, Frank Carlucci, Richard Cheney, Les Aspin, William Perry, William Cohen, and, of course, Donald Rumsfeld. Directors of the CIA: Walter Smith, William Colby, Richard Helms, Alan Dulles, John McComb, James Schlesinger, George Bush Sr., Stansfield Turner, William Casey, William Webster, Robert Gates, James Woolsey, John Deutsch, George Tenet, Porter Gloss, and Michael Hayden. Now, some better-known corporations, big corporations which are very powerful, the CFR members at board of directors level or chief executive include, and this is a very partial list, alphabetically: Atlantic Richfield Oil Company, AT&T, Avon Products, Bechtel Construction Group, Boeing Company, Bristol Myers Squibb, Chevron, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola, Consolidated Edison of New York, Exxon, Dow Chemical, DuPont Chemical, Eastman Kodak, Enron, Estee Lauder, Ford Motor, General Electric, General Foods, Hewlett-Packard, Hughes Aircraft, IBM, International Paper, Johnson & Johnson, Levi Strauss & Company, Lockheed Aerospace, Lucent Technologies, Mobil Oil, Monsanto, Northrop, Pacific Gas and Electric, Phillips Petroleum, Procter & Gamble, Quaker Oats, SPC Yahoo, Shell Oil, SmithKline Beecham Pharmaceuticals, Sprint Corporation, Texaco, Santa Fe Southern Pacific Railroad, Teledyne, TRW, Southern California Edison, Unicom, United Technologies, Verizon Communications, Warner Lambert, Weyerhaeuser, I'm getting out yet, and of course Xerox. Many, many more, but we don't have time for. In the media, now this is particularly critical because this is where people get their information and where they might learn about the Council on Foreign Relations otherwise. In the media, we find CFR members in management and operational positions at the Army Times, Associated Press, Association of American Publishers, Boston Globe, Business Week, Christian Science Monitor, Dallas Morning News, Detroit Free Press, Detroit News, USA Today, Wall Street Journal, Los Angeles Times, New York Post, San Diego Union Tribune, Times Mirror, Random House, W.W. Norton and Company, Warner Books, American Spectator, Atlantic, Harper's Farm Journal, Financial World, Insight, Washington Times, Medical Tribune, National Geographic, National Review, New Republic, New Yorker, Newsday, Newsmax, Newsweek, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, Reader's Digest, Rolling Stone, Scientific American, Time Warner, Time, U.S. News and World Report, Washington Post, ABC, CBS, CNN, NBC, PBS, RCA, the Walt Disney Company, and of course, Rupert Murdoch. It's all part of the big club. Now, the media personalities, maybe not as important as the organizations themselves, but nevertheless significant. These talking heads like David Brinkley, Tom Brokaw, William Buckley, Peter Jennings, Bill Moyers, Dan Rather, Diane Sawyer, Barbara Walters, Katie Couric, and Andrea Mitchell, who's the wife of Alan Greenspan, former chairman of the Federal Reserve System. Of course, he was a member of the Council on Foreign Relations also. Labor unions with CFR members in key positions include the AFL-CIO, United Steelworkers of America, United Auto Workers, American Federation of Teachers, Bricklayers and Allied Crafts, Communications Workers of America, Union of Needle Trades, and Amalgamated Clothing and Textile Workers. In the tax-exempt foundations and the think tanks, we have a number of CFR members in controlling positions. Number of organizations with members in controlling positions is 443. Too long to read. Some of the better-known names are the Sloan and Kettering Foundation, Aspen Institute, Atlantic Council, Bilderberg Group, Brookings Institute, Carnegie Endowment for International Peace, Carnegie Foundation, Ford Foundation, Guggenheimer Foundation, Hudson Institute, John and Catherine MacArthur Foundation, Mellon Foundation, Rand Corporation, Rhodes Scholarship Selection Commission, Rockefeller Foundation and Rockefeller Brothers Fund, the Trilateral Commission, and the UN Association. In the universities, a number of CFR members who are or have been professors at department, chairmen of different departments, or presidents of the universities. The number is so long, it's 563 last time I counted. In the financial institutions such as banks, Federal Reserve, stock exchanges, and brokerage houses, the number of CFR members with controlling positions is 284. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think you get the idea.
Yeah.
The total membership of this organization is not very large. It's about 4,000. Now, there are many churches in your hometown with memberships equal to or greater than 4,000. Wouldn't you be surprised to discover that members of just that one church held dominant, controlling positions in all of the structures which I have just mentioned? Wouldn't you think that was worthy of note? And wondered what's going on. But first you have to know about it. And you're not apt to know about it if it turns out that members of that church also control the channels of communications by which you would be informed. And that is the dilemma that we face today. I'd like to point out that these people in the CFR are not the inner core of a secret society. They're at least 2 rings out. These guys are way out there, but they're doing the work of the leaders of the rings, within the rings, within the rings. It's very important because I'm sure most of the members of the Council on Foreign Relations haven't the foggiest idea of really what they're being used for. They consider this to be a rather high-tech employment agency. They know that if they can get on that list, if they'll be invited to membership, they'll never have to worry about a good job again. Because whenever one of these multinational corporations or some government agency is looking for a reliable person, they go to the membership list of the CFR and they offer them the job. So they figure that they've made it once they get to that list. But not just anybody can get on that list. You're very carefully analyzed, you're selected, you have to be nominated by a senior member of the Council on Foreign Relations. And I can assure you nobody's going to get nominated unless they're total collectivist in their thinking and they believe in the New World Order based on the model of collectivism.